Welcome to Dantech Computer Solutions. We are going to do the exercise 5 of the Microsoft Access database. The question says that you create a database and name it My Work to hold the following information in the table below. So we are going to create a table first. After that, we will be able now to key in the following information. Remember, we only have the data types, the field names, which are the titles. We are not provided with the data type, so it's upon us to choose the appropriate data type for each specific field name. Therefore, I'll go to my folder, I right click, then I click on new, then I choose Microsoft Access Database. Then you can be able to write My Work. We are told to save our database as My Work. I click enter to save, I click enter again to open that specific database. I can close, then I can click on enable content. After that, I now go to create, then I click table design. So we are going to create this table whereby we have the name, basic pay, department, age, and the employment date. So I'll write that, all those titles. So I'll start with the first one, which is name. So I write that. When you click on the next line, it tells you that the name you supplied is a reserved word, and that reserved words have a specific meaning to Microsoft Access or the Microsoft Access database engine. So if you use a reserved word, you will receive an error when referring to this field. So you just press on OK button, and it allows you to go to the next field name, which is basic pay. So you just write that. Then we have the next one, which is department. We have the age, and we have the employment date. So after that, we are going to change the data types. For the basic pay, you can either use numbers or you use currency. And for the age, we will use number. For the date, remember anything to do with date, we said that we use a data type which is date and time. So that is okay. So after that, you can close to save. Click yes, then we can call this My Work. You press OK. You have not set any primary key, so when it tells you that there is no primary key defined. So just click no, and we have our table, which is My Work. Therefore, we will double click to open this table. Then now we fill in the provided data. So we key in those values. That will be able to do the provided questions. So you make sure that you've provided the specific and the exact information as it is provided. So do not come up with any of your values, no. Just use the exact values that have been used for you to be able to arrive at specific and exact, to get the exact values which are entitled. Sorry, I entered wrong values here, so I'm going to make the corrections. So that is it. So after filling this data, you can now close to save your table. So I just click on close. So we have saved our work as my work. So after that, we will now go to the questions, and the first we are told that create the queries to determine the following. Number one, it says that we create a query to determine the number of people with the basic salary greater than 20,000. So we come up with a query that will determine the basic salary which is more than 20,000. Therefore, you click on create, then you go to query design, you click hard, then you close, you double click on my work, I want to highlight all this. So you select all these fields, then you can drag down that they may be able to appear automatically. So after that, you come to criteria under the basic salary or under the basic pay. You are turned to create a query to determine a basic pay greater than 20,000. Therefore, you write greater than 20,000 and don't apply the comma, please. So just write greater than 20,000. Then you can click on run. And you are able to see that we have retrieved the information only that has a basic pay which is greater than 20,000. So after that, you can close and save. So since this is question 1, we'll just save it as query 1 and then you press OK. After that, we'll go to the next question, which says create the number of people with a basic salary less than 30,000. We create the number of people with a basic salary less than 30,000. So again, you go to create, then query design, click hard, then you close. You can double click my work, then you drag down all the values. After that, we again go to the basic salary. They want us to show which are less than 30,000. So just type less than 30,000 under the criteria on the basic pay, and you click run, and you can see that you only have the values whose values are less than 30,000. And you can close. You save this as query 2. After that, we can go to the next question, number 3, which says create a query to determine the number of people with a basic salary greater than or equals to 17,000 and that is less than or equals to 30,000. Greater than or equals to 17,000 and less than or equals to 30,000. Therefore, we go to create query design. We add the new clause. We drag down. We go to the basic salary. We say greater than, so or equals to 17,000. Then you type the word and less than or equals to 30,000. So we want the values which are greater than or equals to 17,000 and less than or equals to 30,000. After you write that, you just click on run, and you can see that we have values which are 17,000 and above, and the values which are less than 30,000. So after that, you can close, then you click save. So simply press yes, then you press OK. So that is our question 3. After that, we proceed to the next question, number 4, which says that we create a query to determine all the employees from the research department. We create a query to determine all employees from research department. Therefore, again, we go to create query design, click add, then we close, and double click, then you drag down all these values. After that, we can go to department. They say that we create a query to determine all employees from research department. So under the department, you just type the word research, then you can click on run, and you can realize that we have only retrieved the information that are from the research department. After that, you can close to save, and you press OK. The next question says that you create a query to determine all employees from the finance department. So the same way, we go to create to query design, click hard, then you close. You can double click the ender, and you drag down the name to the fields, and go to the department, and we are requested to create a query from finance. So we just type the word finance from finance department, and you click run. And you can be able to see that we only have the values from finance. So you can close, and you press OK. After that, we can go to question number 6, which says create a query to determine all employees from the computer or finance department. From computer or finance department. Therefore, you go to query design, you add, and you close, double click and drag down all the fields. Then you go under the department. They want us to show from computer or finance. Therefore, you can type computer, and you can see that we have or. Just below the criteria, we have or. Therefore, you click the next line, then you type finance, so that you may be able to retrieve the information from the computer, both computer and finance. So you can see that under the department, we have the computers and the finance department being shown. You can close and save that. After that, you can go to the next question, which says that you create a query to determine all employees having the first character of the name as J. Having the first character of the name as J. Therefore, you go to create query design. You can add, then you close, double click, then you drag down. So we need the first name starting with the J. Therefore, you go to criteria under the name, then you type the word J, and you click star. Star is the multiplication sign. You can click shift 8 on your keyboard to apply the star. So we start with J, we end with the star, then you click run, and you can be able to see that we only have the names starting with the letter J. And you can close and save. After that, the next question you determine, create a query to determine all employees with the name ending with S. So remember, the first for the J we have started with J, but now they want us to end with S. Therefore you go to criteria, you apply the star, which is shift 8 on your keyboard, then you end with the letter S. So when it is ending, you start with star, then you insert that particular letter or word that you want to end with. If it's starting, you first start with that character, then you end with the star, and after that you can click on run, and you can be able to see that we have the fields or the names that end with letter S. We have the Charles, James and Thomas. To that you can close to save, press OK. Then the next question, number 9, says that you create a query to determine all employees from the computer department and have age greater than 30 years. All employees from computer department and have age greater than 30 years. Therefore you go to create query design, you can add and you close, then you can drag down all the fields, drag them down. So we create from computer department, so you go to department and write computer whose age is greater than that. Therefore you go to the criteria under the age and you apply greater than 30, and you can click run. So you can see that we have the department from computers, and we have the age which is greater than 30, whereby we have 34 and 44. You can close to save, press OK. Then we have the last question, number 10, which says that all employees who are employed on or before date 10 November 1980. Therefore we can go back to the Access database program and go to create, then we click on query design and click on add, then you close. After that you can double click and drag down all the fields, then you go to criteria under the date and you write less than or equals to that specific date which is provided, which is 10 November 1980. After writing that, you just click on run to display those fields. You can see that we only have the values whose date is below date 11 November 1980. Then we can close to save it as code 10. So that is the end of our exercise 5. In the next video we'll do our next exercise. Thanks for watching.